I just want to take just 5 minutes to explain this very ancient Vedic ritual. Um, People refer to that by different words. One word that is used is Agnihotra, and a person who does that is referred to as Agnihotri. And we also use the word Homa. It, it's all referring to the same thing. Basically, what it is that long time back in the Vedic tradition, they they were looking for how, like if you're looking at something infinite, which God is infinite, so how do you map that infinity into something finite which we can worship, right? So one thing they used on a daily basis was to look at the sun and use the sun as a symbol of source of energy. So the reason they did that was they said that if you look at the sun for us on this planet, that is the one that is the sustainer. That's the one that is giving the energy that makes us live, right? And also the light comes from that as well. So in the Vedic tradition, light is jnana, it's knowledge, right? So it is the source of all knowledge, and it's also source of all energy that allows us to live, basically, right? So ultimately, what is that? That's God, right? So the sun is like a symbol, if you will, through which we can try to focus mentally on that infinite source of energy and the infinite source of knowledge. That is one symbol they use. So even now you see that people sit next to the river and all that. They'll keep their eyes closed. They'll be facing the east in the morning, looking at the sun and all. They close their eyes and they meditate. Right. So that's one thing. The second thing was they used what we call Agni, which loosely translated to English you may say fire. And what is special about that is the fact that, for one thing, it's always upwards. Like if you look at any of those things, there's no Agni, no fire that'll be horizontal or downwards. It's always, we call Urdhva Mukha. Urdhva means look upwards, right? So the thing is that, again, our thing is God is always uplifting, no matter what. He's always uplifting, no matter what. And the second thing is that also gives light. So it's also a source of knowledge. There's a third thing which doesn't apply to the sun, but it applies to Agni in the sense that anything, it doesn't matter what you put in that thing, it'll purify that. Right? So whatever you put in it, it gets purified. So again, our thinking is that whatever you offer to God, even if it is impure, even if it's imperfect, once He accepts it, even the impure, imperfect, finite thing, once He accepts it, it becomes very pure. Right? Now, that is one side of the story. The second thing is that earlier we were talking about God and all that, right? So, yes, there is only one. We don't believe in multiple gods and all that. That's a wrong thing. We don't. There's only one God, and He is the only one on whom everything depends, including nature. Even nature, He's beyond nature. Even nature depends on Him, is what we believe. However, having said that, just like in a large organization, you may have, like, take a company, big company, right? Take Microsoft, right? Bill Gates may sort of own sort of Microsoft, right? And we may never see him. He may be sitting somewhere. He owns everything there. However, there's a CEO, there's a CFO, and they're all employees. They're all dependent on him. He ultimately, if Microsoft makes money, Bill Gates makes money. So similarly, whatever we offer, we think that eventually it will go to God. However, just like you need to go to different people for different things, we believe and we think there are 18 levels. We call it Kaksha. There are 18 levels where you may call them angels, whatever. Beyond us, we call them Devata Shaktis. They're divine entities beyond us, but they're not God. Okay. and they're basically working for him, right? So in that there are many different levels, there are many different ones, and so on. The thing is, all of them, they don't have a physical form. Like I'm made up of this physical body. They don't need that. However, their body, if you will, is just energy. That's why I cannot see them. But that energy can be anywhere in the universe, right? So the question is, if I want to interact with them, if I want to interact with those entities that are basically energy, whereas I don't know how to do that, then the question is, what interface can I use? I want to use an interface that will is between material world and non-material world, the energy world, if you will. We think Agni is that interface. Because what happens is, like, eventually, finally, when we get done with that, she just made something. So we're going to, it's called Purnapati. That's at the end, we offer that. So the thing is, when we offer something, that thing will disappear. Even if it got burnt or whatever, but basically the material went away. But question is, what happened to the energy in that? That energy inside that matter, the matter did not get converted to energy. The energy that was inside that matter, it goes into the universe and gets. So we specifically say, I'm going to offer it for this entity or that entity, even though knowing fully well at the end of the day, it'll all go to him. Okay, but depending on the purpose, what I'm trying to do, I go through different of these Devata Shaktis. Right? What we use is the ghee. You know ghee? Okay. The clarified butter. And the thought behind that is milk. It all starts with cow milk. Right? So milk is, we refer to that as the knowledge that comes from the Vedas. Right? We refer to Veda Mata, we refer to cow as Veda Mata, she's mother, because we drink her. So symbolically, we use that milk to be all the knowledge that comes from the universe to us. The thing is, you cannot take that and offer it directly to God. Just like in Agni, if I take milk and pour it, the fire will go away. It won't be accepted. That's not an acceptable thing. So if you take that milk, take that knowledge, what one is supposed to do. By the way, this is not my theory. I'm just rephrasing and articulating the thought process. That's all. So that knowledge that comes from the thing, the first thing I need to do is heat it, because in that thing there are a lot of impurities and unwanted things. So you heat it to get rid of all unwanted things. So what that means, knowledge that we get, we need to think inside, So to get rid of unwanted stuff, and then you let it cool down to room temperature. So you think about it, contemplate on that a lot, and then let go. Just let it cool down for a while. Don't keep on thinking, let go. So it'll come down, energy level comes down. The next thing we do is convert it to yogurt or curds. In India, we say curds, here they say yogurt. The thing is that the only way to convert milk to yogurt is to take the yogurt from yesterday, take a little bit, put in that and stir it. And it has been lukewarm, right? You take lukewarm milk, put yesterday's yogurt, stir it, and if you let it sit there, after many hours, the whole thing becomes solid, becomes a yogurt. This we call Guru Upadesha. So this is the teaching from a guru. So without a guru, you cannot do anything. That's what we're doing. There's nothing you can accomplish without a guru. So when this knowledge that you got from whatever sources, the guru comes and like yesterday's yogurt, like he takes the knowledge from before and puts a little bit, that's all Upadesha, that is teaching, right? So when he puts a little bit of that and stirs it, and that knowledge, after some time what you find is that all my knowledge, it's not moving around, shaking and all that, it becomes solidified. So it becomes solidified knowledge. The next thing you do is churn it, churn the butter, right? Now that basically what that refers to is that now that you got this solidified knowledge, which your guru turned that raw knowledge to, right? Once it's solidified, you don't have any confusion and all that. Churning means you apply it in every single thing in your life. keep on applying, right? So when you churn yogurt or curds, that is when the butter comes out magically, right? So the butter we refer to as devotion, bhakti. That is bhakti, nija bhakti, true devotion, not just emotional crap, but true devotion that comes from knowledge base, not from somebody told you some emotional stuff, right? There's nothing emotional. So what happens is that bhakti that comes out, even that you cannot offer. Like I cannot take butter, put it in that thing. Even that is not accepted. The reason for that, if you look at butter, the butter has two things. Yeah, basically butter is good, but it also has some water component and it also has some sedimentation component. So the way you convert butter to ghee is you heat it again. So even the devotion, that bhakti that you get, you heat that internally. And then what happens is the water part goes up as steam. And we refer to the water part as the rajas. Yes, now we're talking about the rajas are the enjoyment component, the horizontal, that will evaporate, go away. And anything tamasic, anything that will pull you down, even in the devotion, that will separate out and become sedimentation. Then we filter it out. So the rajas and the tamas is gone from that bhakti. What's left is pure sattvic bhakti. That is what we offer. That's the reason we use ghee as symbol. That's just like a quick 5-minute explanation.